little bit about programming the Korg Volca Bass. Right off the bat, you can just record as in real time. It's a little bit tricky for reasons I'll show you. Okay, we have the tempo going here. That's our tempo. We don't know where 1 is, but we will. Here we go. 1 is where this blinks and we see the first beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, there, we've recorded a pattern. It's as simple as that. Then of course, you know, you're free to, you know, control it whatever way you want. Some things that you might want to examine: step mode, where we can control which steps that have been played are playing. You can hear how we're in step mode. If you remove certain steps, suddenly you lose the sort of slide that goes between the various steps. And that's a thing you can adjust by going Function, Slide, Edit. You can see where the slide is. You can see where the slide notes are. If we turn all these on, the slide will return. Let's see. Let's find all of the... If we turn... You know, the slide can't exist where there aren't any notes. So if we have the slide on for all of them, we'll hear the slide happening the whole time. But then we can adjust where we want the slide to happen. And where we have taken the slide out, that means that the note that follows that point will not be connected to the note that is on that point, which is to say the note that exists on that step, if it is off, there will not be a slide between that note and the next. So that's why all of a sudden you can hear the lack of slide between the notes where the lights are off. So that allows you to do a lot of creative things in live performance. Various ways to change up the pattern. As well as, you know, changing which steps play. And then you can go back in the slide. And change the relationships between the notes that are playing. So these are things you can do that allow you to do a variety of changes in the midst of your playing in a live situation. Of course, if you want to record in a step fashion, you also have that ability. Let's erase what we have here. And so we just press Function, Record, and then you see a blinking light. That tells you what step you're on, and you input whatever note you want there. I'm going to choose M4. Now it wants to know what I want the next step. I'll do M4 again. Next step, M7. And if you want to skip a step, you press Record a couple of times. Let's do that for fun. And then okay, let's see where we're at with this. We're back on 1. Who knows what I've done here? Let's hear how it turned out. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so you can record stepwise that way. And then you can use those same functions I showed you to edit how this recording that you've made works. In step mode, you can remove notes that you've played. And also, sometimes if there aren't notes in these gaps, by pressing this, notes will appear. Now, I'm not sure where those notes have come from. They might be from previous recordings. They might be random choices. But some of those notes, as you know, are notes I did not play because I pressed the record. But usually it can create some interesting diversity. And then, of course, you can decide where the slides occur in between those notes. And in that way, you can rewrite what you've just played. I should remember what my original notes were. So the slides that I input now have a different effect depending on which steps I've chosen. You can also add and delete steps through the active step mode, which is function play. All I'm doing here is I'm taking steps out and adding steps back in. When you take a step out, it is taken out of the sequence of notes that is played, and that makes different relationships between the notes that exist within the sequence. And then, of course, in step mode, what notes are playing make a difference. And in slide mode, what notes are sliding make a difference. And all of these things make a difference. As if that wasn't all enough to make this interesting, there's something I haven't told you. Well, actually, I told you in the other videos, but we are currently in the mode that has all of the oscillators acting in tandem. We can put this in the mode where all of the oscillators are acting independently. And guess what that means? I'll show you. Here, let's just record something. That's VCO 1. And that's very exciting. But watch what we can do. We'll switch to, actually, I didn't even need to stop. We can switch to VCO 2, which we'll put here. And we can do this. So you can hear both of those are happening at once. And we can add VCO 3. So what I'm showing you is that when you have it in this mode, you have polyphony. Yeah, that's right. I said it. When you have it in this mode, you have polyphony. You can actually program chords into the synthesizer. So, for example, let's do this. What note am I going to play? Okay, now I'm going to VCO 2. And we'll go to VCO 3. So you can imagine the possibilities here. You can have bass lines with melodic parts going on over them, or you can have bass lines with two-note chords going on over them. There's just a lot of opportunities for sequencing. So we've gone from, yeah, this is a bass synthesizer, to, oh my gosh, this is a full-on monophonic analog synthesizer, to now it's a sequencer that can sequence polyphony. I mean, come on. And of course, you know, in the midst of this, each of these notes is subject to all of the cool things that we already know. You can change these notes to make different notes, different chords. You can adjust the chords in that way, in addition to programming different chords. And on top of all that, you also have control over things that we've seen before, like steps. You can decide which steps are playing in each of the individual oscillators. This is where, you know, those invented notes that it kind of does can create some random and interesting outcomes. And of course, you can also choose to slide between these notes. So yeah, there are a tremendous amount of programming possibilities, and I have not even scratched the surface of how these different functions that I've just described can actually be used creatively. And I would say that is up to you. But you can see that there is so much going on. You have full-on analog synthesizer, plus the potential for polyphonic programming, plus all of the programming functions, plus the live performance possibilities.